Hi, welcome to BetSave's Premier League preview of Manchester City against Arsenal. It's a huge game at the weekend, both going pretty well, especially Manchester City as Pep Guardiola's team just seem to blow everybody out the water, and Arsenal not struggling a little bit, but certainly struggling to keep pace with the top 4 or 5 in the Premier League. 1-2 City to win the game, their odds on, 4-1 the draw, 27-5 Arsenal. Is that a pretty close sort of odds comparison, exactly how far away both teams are at the moment?
Yeah, I think just purely because of City's form at the minute. They're blowing teams away at ease. You know, the Napoli game midweek. You think about the team that played against Napoli, but for me, and I've said it all along, it's City's strength and depth. There was no company, no Mendy, no Bernardo Silva, no David Silva, no Gabriel Jesus, no Yaya Toure. And they went to Napoli and put in that performance without their players. And that's the big thing for me with City all the way through this season, is if they pick up a couple of injuries or he wants to rest players, and he didn't have that last year, this year they're just, the squad is just phenomenal. You
mentioned the Napoli game, we'll get a little bit to the Champions League. I know we're going to concentrate really on the Man City Arsenal game at the moment. Was the result against West Brom as important as any result they've had this year? Because West Brom sort of pushed Manchester City a little bit more than I thought they might.
Yeah, it was. They're the games.
The fact that they come out and won the game.
Yeah, they're the games. I will go back to, I think it was the second game of the season, and they're 1-0 down away at Bournemouth. You know, in the West Brom game,
that's right,
which was very close. They were games that Manchester City wouldn't have won last year.
No.
You know, and even the Napoli game midweek, going 1-0 down away in a Champions League game, City wouldn't have come back from that before.
No.
You know, and then when Napoli get back to 2-2, normally City would have crumbled a little bit.
Yeah.
But they've just got this belief about them, Al, that whatever team sets up against them or how they play against them or whatever happens in the game, you know, it's like they've got this belief that they're just going to win and that they're better.
Pep certainly looks happier with the whole situation at the moment, doesn't he? Because he was not cantankerous, that's the word I use for you. You know, he was just getting a little bit more upset with some pretty average, normal questions that was asked of him.
It was, and I think last season, and I don't buy into this thing that the Premier League took Pep by surprise. I think he knew that his squad wasn't good enough last season, and that was the one thing that riled him, because he wanted to come out and stick up for them, but he knew deep down that they weren't. And I think his body language and how he is this year, he knows he's got the best squad, and that's why he's so happy.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to have a bet on guessing his starting 11 for Saturday. That'd be tough.
You couldn't.
With the players you mentioned. Let's talk about Arsenal a little bit. 4 wins from the last 5.
Yeah, but they're stuttering along a little bit.
Well, who did they beat? Swansea.
1-0 down and came back.
That might not have happened either last year.
No, it couldn't. But you know, Europa League game on Thursday night. Does Wenger try and rotate a little bit? But I don't think he's got the squad to do it. But look, Arsenal on any given day, with the players they've got, can go and win and beat anybody. But I just think the way City are, and especially at home, you know, 5 out of 5 at home they've won. The fans are expecting them to score goals, and I think the players actually expect them to score 3, 4 and 5 goals every game.
I was going to ask you, you've been a manager, I haven't. Is Wenger's biggest job convincing them they can beat Manchester City? Because at the moment in time, I'm thinking psychologically, we're on the bus, we're on the way to City thinking, I need to be as good as I can possibly be, and if City go 1 up, you know, that's a problem.
My big thing with Arsenal is how many players have they got that can mentally deal with that.
Yeah.
You know, I think Lacazette has been a great signing, will be a great signing for them. Giroud's back in the goals, you know, and going forward they are easy on the eye and good to watch. I just think defensively they could struggle. There's no real pace at the back for them. And the way City play, stretching the pitch, the width that they use, Sané's been sensational. Your mate Raheem Sterling has been,
I've got to say,
probably one of the best players in the Premier League this year, and 10 goals already from a wide man.
We've played in Europe. I played with a football team in Europe that was one of the best. And you still go to places that are difficult, but you go to places and you're like, there's no hiding place.
No.
Raheem Sterling against, and I'm not picking him out again, I can remember going to places and thinking, oh boy, this is hard.
Yeah.
He was magnificent against Napoli.
He was.
But I don't mean for half an hour. Near the end of the game, he still tried to nick through. Yeah. I thought his strength in the game was better, as though he's almost believing. I think Pep's done a great job with him.
He has, and I think it's 4 seasons in a row now he's got 10 goals. For a wide man isn't too bad, but to have 10 goals by the 1st November, It just shows you how well he's doing.
And I can't talk about that about another player at Arsenal, though. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I've bet City at the weekend thinking, I think they're an absolute certainty at 1-2, by the way. I still think BetSafe, I've got to cut them a little bit more than that, because I think we'll get taken to the cleaners. But I don't remember speaking about anybody at Arsenal thinking he was that good. Obviously the Sanchez and Ozil have been fantastic, but not a young player coming through like that. And I don't think of Ramsey as a young player anymore.
No, he's not. And look, Sanchez is probably their only hope. Ozil, I think he could, if Arsenal starts him on Sunday, I think he could be a huge weak point for them. The way City play, the way they press, the pace and the power that they've got. They will. The one thing City will do now on Sunday, and you watch from the first minute, they will go after them, regardless of what team he plays, because they believe when they do that there's nobody better than them.
City 1-2, 41 the draw, Arsenal 20-75. I picked out a couple of boosted markets for you in this game. Remember, go to betsafe.com for all the markets in this game and you'll get boosted industry prices. City to win 3-2. There'll be a lot of goals in the game, hopefully. I don't know about Arsenal getting 2. 14-1, under 1.5 goals, 23-4. I'll lay myself, there's no way Man City play a game with only under 1.5 goals. Thanks for that, Paul. I do think City are probably going to be too strong for Arsenal. It's a big game at the weekend. Man City can stay flying high at the top, providing they take the 3 points. Good luck with all your bets at the weekend. Remember, the best prices are with BetSafe. And for all those markets, go to betsafe.com. We'll be back next week with another Premier League preview.